the Upanishads and other scriptures such as Bhagavad Gita. Chinmaya Mission was assigned the task of conducting conferences and deliberations on Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam to discuss applications of oneness and explore paradigms of spirituality, culture, regenerative development, minimalism, conflict awareness, environmental consciousness through different sub-themes. The deliberations are expected to be conducted in the forms of future policy recommendations for providing equitable, worldwide access, rebuilding resilience for a better future. Today's audience sitting in this hall are the chosen leaders who represent different set of civil society of Sikkim. My dear brothers and sisters sitting in this hall, you all have been chosen to participate in this discussion with a big responsibility to carry forward this objective and discussion down the line in your respective organizations, institutes and classroom, wherever you belong to. The volunteers and executives from Chinmaya Mission will be there with you to help you, guide you and to support you in your mission. You are already inside the WhatsApp group of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We have shared the concept notes and many other informations to you. You are expected to go back to your organizations, schools and conduct this discussion and deliberations. Back to your place, in your classrooms, in your studios, in your office, everywhere, so that the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam goes down to everyone and we become leader in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Swami Vivekananda used to address American citizens as brothers and sisters. The enlightened souls of India have always preached, practiced, advocated and propagated the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and have lived with this philosophy since time immemorial. The G20 presidency has given this great opportunity for India and for we Indians to transfer this knowledge to every individual of our society and throw them to the entire world. So I wish you all very interactive technical session, the first session. Now I will brief you on the three sessions that are there. The first session will be on Dharma Spirituality, that will be hosted by my co-host Mr. Sumit Sharma and Pujya Swami Swapnanandji, Pujya B.K. Sumanji and Dr. Chiron Gyacho will be deliberating on the topic. Then in the second session on ecology, we shall have Dr. Ghanshyam Sharma, ecologist, Priyadarshini Shrestha and Dr. Bharat Kumar Pradhan. And in the third session, which is on media and entertainment, we have renowned filmmaker and director Ugen Chotel of the fame of Krishna and many other films, Nepali films, Karna Paljor, a senior journalist of East Mojo film. I think he is yet to reach the hall. He might be reaching here anytime. And then our own, very own Nirmal Manda. So with this, now I want to invite my co-host on the stage to take on the first session, Mr. Sumit Sharma.
अखंड मंडलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. So thank you so much our coordinator C20 Sikkim chapter LP Sharmaji giving this great opportunity to host this important session which is on Dharma, that is spirituality. So moving on to this important seminar, we have K.N. Sarmaji, who is the chairperson for this seminar. So I would like to request K.N. Sarmaji to come to the dais and take a place, and I request our Chinmay Mission member to welcome him. So Sri K.N. Sarmaji, he is a retired devotee and chairman of SPSC, retired chairman of SPSC, and renowned Nepali literary figure received Bhanu Puruskar, Sikkim. So we welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to welcome our first speaker, the dynamic leader, and I've been with him, learning so many things from him, Pujya Swami Swatmananji on stage. Second speaker for this session, we have Brahma Kumari Sonamji, and the third speaker for this session, we have Dr. Sholam Rachagotia. So let's do a warm up. I will say clap. Please don't clap. Okay? I will say clap. Don't clap. Okay? Clap. Clap. I will say clap. Don't clap. Okay? Clap. Thank you. So over the past 2 months in different social medias, we have seen this beautiful line which is called Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Okay? And Swami Nikranji in the morning session, he explained that this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, it has been derived from, got it from Upanishads, and India has been preaching and teaching this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. World is one family from past thousands of years. Okay? Now this seminar, this first seminar, the title is Spirituality, Dharma, and the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is outcome of spirituality. Okay? Now, what is spirituality? Reading scriptures is a spirituality or something else? So for me, we have a speaker who will be talking another 1 hour on spirituality. So before going into that, just I want to give my point of view. For me, what is spirituality? Okay. Now for me, spirituality is WATCH. We have no? Some of us don't have. Anyway, watch. Now, watch your word. Now, when we speak, now real spirituality is my words should not hurt anybody else. First. And second is WA, watch your action. My action shouldn't hurt anybody else. So these 2 points I want to quote. For me, spirituality is not hurting others, anybody by my words and by my action. Okay, so moving on to the introduction of our first speaker, Swami Swatmananji. He's a dynamic leader and he serves at Chinmaya Mission, Mumbai after completing the Vedanta course at Sandipani Sadhanaya, Mumbai. He expounds the philosophy of Advaita through camps, talks, meditation, retreats, etc. Theaters, plays, tracks, outdoor learning, music, etc. are used by him to inspire many youths across India and across the globe also. He also takes the youth empowerment program, which is value-based leadership program for youth who wants to serve the nation and culture. The youth are trained for 3 months and they serve the country for another 9 months. Over thousand youth have completed here in 12 batches so far, and one of them is myself, and we have 2 youths, Mr. Naresh Chetri and Yuvaveer, Mr. Tara Prasad here. So that is what Swamiji has contributed us a lot to us, right? Now next is Chinmaya Pradeep, one of its kind outdoor Vedantic vision park at Mumbai is made by him on the vision, life and work of Swami Chinmayananji. He has written and directed 2 theoretical performances, Adrishya, Quest for the Unseen, based on Saraswati civilization and developed India, and a play based on Bhagavad Gita titled Just Like That. His social media handle is Chinmaya Sivam, and he can be reached on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. His podcast with the same handle are available on Google, Amazon, Spotify, iTunes, etc. So without delaying, I would like to request Swami Swatmananji to give your valuable and inspiring word on spirituality. Over to you, Swamiji.
सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः. Respected dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and everyone present here, Namaskar. This Namaskar itself is an expression of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, because we respect the divinity of everyone. During Corona time, the entire world took up to this way of greeting people rather than handshakes. In our culture, we say beautifully, Yatha Drishti Tatha Srishti. As the vision, so the world appears to us. So based on this beautiful knowledge that Bhagavan Krishna gave to Arjun, in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 18th chapter it is said very beautifully, a narrow vision is divisive. When we only think about I, me and mine, we have divided the world on the basis of so many different psychological factors. On the basis of wealth, power, caste, community, gender, creed, religion, various ways we have divided the world. No doubt there are functional divisions that are required, but we have created psychological barriers where one feels superior than the other. Those barriers are divisive and they create more and more conflicts. So a narrow vision is divisive, a broad vision is expansive. When a person thinks in a much larger context, we think in terms of the country, we think in terms of the world, we think in terms of a noble cause, then it unites people, it integrates, it brings out more potential. So a narrow vision is divisive, a broad vision is expansive, but a spiritual vision is all-inclusive. In spiritual vision, we don't see differences at all. We see absolute oneness. Each of us are different from each other. At a certain level, at the body level, we feel we are different. We may have, different background, we may have different languages, we may have different culture, but there is a certain oneness that connects all of us. We all are human, we all are living beings. We all feel. So do unto others what you want them to do unto you. So at a different level, when we see at spiritual level, the truth in each one of us is one and the same. And that's why very important it is to see that oneness. And like Sumit was saying, what is spirituality? Adhyatma we call it as. The word adhi means inside, atma means the self. The truth in each one of us is one and the same. Externally we may be different. Like there are so many different, lights here. There is one spotlight, there is a tube light here. There are different types of lights, but electricity in all of them is the same. Same way, the truth in each one is one and the same. Spirituality is that which brings that all-inclusive vision of oneness. Divisions are created because of delusions, because we don't know the reality. If you think about it, even at the body level, are we really different from each other? Is your body not made up of same 5 elements as my body? Does anybody's body have a new 6th element? Space, air, fire, water, earth. Our bodies are made up of same 5 elements. Our mind is made up of same 5 elements. Consciousness in us is one and the same. And today we are not talking about that alone. In spirituality, it has been said in our Vedas thousands of years back. Today quantum physics is talking about the same thing. That once you go to that deeper quantum level, subatomic particle level, it is all one. There is no difference. So, when we think about oneness, very interesting, not only we all are one, but we are interconnected. In quantum physics, there is what they call as quantum entanglement. A particle is split into two, and one particle is kept here, another particle is taken 300 miles far away, and you treat a particle here in a certain way, without doing anything to the other particle, what response this particle will have, same response the other particle will also show without any treatment being done to it. So they concluded that there is something called quantum entanglement. Though they are far away, they are interconnected. So our world, we may see differences, we may see duality, but the fact is, it is one and it is completely interconnected, which is what is the vision of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So narrow vision is divisive, broad vision is expansive, but the spiritual vision is all-inclusive. Can you repeat this after me? Narrow vision is? Loudly, I can't hear. Narrow vision is? Broad vision is? Expansive. Spiritual vision is? All-inclusive. Not repeat after me. Say with me together, all of us. A narrow vision is? Divisive. Broad vision is? Expansive. Spiritual vision is? All-inclusive. What vision should we have? Should we have a narrow vision? Should we have only a broad vision? No. We should have broad vision, but we should also have a spiritual vision. And this applies to everything. In a country, if somebody thinks only about one individual, one organization, how much can one do? If each state of the country thinks that I want to be free from the country, they are breaking India forces who are trying to destroy our country. But if we have a broad vision, saying no, we are one country, we will operate as one country, then Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat, one country, great country. Then that's a broad vision. I expand from my individual level to my family, to my community, to my state, to my country. And I work with that vision, and that will further lead me to whole world is one family. That is called Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The entire earth is one family. And this vision of one family is what spirituality tells us about. You know, this vision we have anchored in for thousands of years. It is because of this vision that even during COVID, India supplied vaccines under Vaccine Maitri to so many countries. When developed nations were not able to supply, India went out of its way and gave the vaccines to so many countries. Because of this, we supplied food and many other things for the Ukraine war. Even recently, during that Turkey earthquake, there are lots of differences between India and Turkey as nations. Turkey has never supported us in the UN Security Council, but still, our country sent the aid there. Many examples like that you will see. We have been attacked for so many centuries together, but we as a nation have not gone out and attacked anybody. Why? Because how can you attack your own family member? So, these are various ways by which we apply Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. It is not that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is a theoretical concept written in the Vedas and it is not practiced. It is being practiced continuously. We need to practice it more because we have forgotten this idea. And this is born from our Adhyatma, from our spirituality. So Swami Chinmayananji, my Guru, used to say very beautifully, what is spirituality? Spirituality is not a way to look at certain things, it is a certain way to look at all things. Spirituality is not a way to look at certain things. If we think that only going to a temple or believing in God or doing some rituals, then I am spiritual, that is one part of spirituality. Spirituality is not a way to look at certain things. It is a certain way to look at all things. It's a vision of life, which is an all-inclusive vision, where I don't think of only I, me and mine. So the vision of spirituality is what? From the vision that my family is my world, to the vision that the whole world is my family. What do we have to move from? My family is my world to the world is my family. That is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Just imagine, is this not a solution to so many challenges that we have in the world today? Why are people fighting? Across the world there is war happening. Why is there terrorism which is happening? Why is there so much of violence, exploitation, economic challenges? So many problems which are there. One of the reasons is because we don't see oneness. My Guru again, Swami Chinmayananji, used to give a very nice example of the body. Do you think the parts of the body are all equal or they are different? Different? What the head can do, can the hands do? What the hands can do, can the leg do? What the tongue can do, can the, let us say, stomach do? Each part of the body is different from the other, and yet, is there not a vision of oneness that I pervade this whole body? So is it necessary that everything has to become uniform? Everything has to follow one and the same pattern? With all the diversity, can we not be one? There has to be like that only. If we try to make everybody follow one thing only, that is where the challenges come. And which is why it is very important to have this vision. So if my finger goes and pokes my eye, what will I do? Will I chop off that finger? Saying that this finger, without any provocation, went and poked this eye. The eye was happily doing, serving the finger, but the finger has gone and poked the eye, so chop off this finger. Will we say that? We will never say that. But even the finger of a neighbor. Neighbor's finger comes and pokes in the eye, then what will we do? Give one shot back to that person. Why? Because we don't think that that is me. I mean, that obviously doesn't mean that you can keep poking anybody's eye. But my point is, we have a sense of oneness in our hand, in our whole body. So the same finger which poked the eye will go and rub the eye also. And the eye will also say, the finger will say, I am sorry, and the eye will say, I forgive you. Right? If we have the spirit of oneness in the whole world, so many problems will just get solved. So Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam in Dharma means that to bring this vision of oneness to everyone. At all levels, at the body level we are one, at the breath level we are one. At the mind level we are one, at the spiritual level we are one. So actionable point in Dharma is this vision of oneness must be taught in our education system. That a child from the very childhood learns to grow with this beautiful vision that we all are one. In spite of all our diversity and differences, we are still one. And that is the beauty of this whole world. There is so much of variety, and this India itself, the whole Bharat of ours. Are you proud to be a Bharatiya? Yes. If you are proud to be Bharatiya, the fact is the entire world is there in a miniature form in this Bharat. So many different climates are here, so many different habitats are here, so many different communities are here. And this is the land which has given refuge to so many people who have been persecuted across the world. This is the beauty of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This is because India's base is spiritual knowledge. It is not some outdated knowledge given 10,000 years ago, which is only in the books. It is a living, vibrant culture. Greek culture, Roman culture, Mesopotamian culture, Egyptian culture, Mayan culture, all these cultures have disappeared. They are only museums. But Bharatiya culture is still alive. Why? Because this is our vision. Vision of oneness. So first and foremost, actionable point. We are in this C20 seminar where actionable points have to be presented which can be part of the policy draft. So one actionable point is to integrate this spiritual knowledge of oneness, the vision of oneness in education system. And not only do we say this, Dr. Abdul Kalam, one of the greatest presidents that we had in our country, he said very beautifully in his book called Ignited Minds. How many of you have read the book Ignited Minds? Yes. Few people have read. Young people, so many of you are sitting here. My sincere suggestion is please read that book. It's a fantastic book. In that he gives nice vision about how a developing nation can become a developed nation. And in that the first point he mentions is integrate spirituality into education. And it is a scientist who is saying that. If we say it as spiritual people, many people say, Swamiji, yes, understood. But he is a scientist who is saying it, and he used to study the Gita, he used to study the religious books, and he was very inspired by that. So first actionable point is that. Second actionable point is that we understand the divinity of everyone. See, this is the beauty of the spirituality. So one vision is spirituality vision, what we spoke about is all-inclusive. Second is spirituality is a deeper vision of oneness where we see everyone in spite of their differences, we all are one. Third vision is all of us are divine. There is nobody who is not divine. Why do we say everyone is divine? Because the effect is nothing but cause in another form. If there are so many different sizes and shapes of waves across in the whole ocean, is it not all water in the same different forms? There are different ornaments, gold bangle is there, gold earring is there, gold necklace is there, gold anklet is there, it's all gold in another form. So if the effect is there, it is nothing but cause in another form. This entire universe is the effect. It has come from one common source. In science they call it singularity, they are searching for singularity. In Vedanta we call it as Advaita, non-duality, it is one and the same. All great scientists also spoke about trying to unite all the forces of nature, singularity of the forces they are speaking about. So the point to understand is, if we have a philosophy which says that the creator is divine and the created also is divine, we will respect everyone because they all are divine. If we have a philosophy which says only the creator is transcendental and divine but the creation is not divine, and if they don't follow our path, then impose it on them, then that's where a lot of violence happens. Why has our culture accommodated everybody? Not only accommodated, we have ensured that we do not impose our ideology on anybody else. They are free to practice their own religion, they are free to practice their own belief system. No imposition happens. Why? Because we believe that all of us are essentially divine and we believe that every path leads to the divine. Like many rivers, they start from different places, but they all merge in the ocean. So the second actionable point in spirituality in Dharma is that we must learn to respect each other's religions and coexist, respecting each one's faith. No need to impose one's ideology on somebody. Each one has the freedom to practice what they want to practice. It is their life, their choice. So if that spirit of mutual respect we can inculcate, that each one respects the divinity of the other and each one respects the freedom of the other to practice their own religion, then that will bring a lot of harmony in this world. Because a lot of conflicts today in the name of religion are because of this ideological challenges. Now the word dharma itself, what does the word dharma mean? Some people think of the word dharma as religion, some people think as morality, some people as ethics, some people as doing duties. But very interesting is that this word dharma actually means that which unites everyone. Dharayate iti dharma. That which integrates, that which unites, that which binds together. That is called dharma. So anything that unites and integrates is spirituality. Anything that divides and disintegrates is not spirituality. Live and let live is spirituality. Kill and get killed is not spirituality. So very important it is that many of our Eastern traditions in this part of the world has promoted this vision of live and let live. Gautam Buddha is there, Mahavira is there, many such great masters, Guru Nanak Dev is there. All these great masters promoted what? The vision of live and let live. And so dharma means that which unites, integrates, binds. What is that which unites, integrates and binds this whole world? Think about it. Is there any one common force that binds all of us? Not only human beings, plants, birds, animals, every creature. Is there anything that unites everybody? Nature, okay, we can say that. Air, definitely, that we need for survival itself. Love, give her a big round of applause. Love is that which unites every creature, every being. Every being wants love and every being feels great when they are loved. Love is that which unites the entire universe. And where does love arise? Love arises when there is a vision of oneness. Where we see oneness, there love will automatically arise. Like we saw in the body. If we see I am this whole body, there is a natural love for the body. A mother feels that this child is my child, there is a oneness. Love will arise. A musician loves the music and feels one with it. There is so much of joy. Someone who sees that this is my country, the feeling of my country comes, then the love, patriotism comes in that person's mind. Where we see oneness. As a community also, it happens, no? So when you go abroad, suddenly you feel, I am Indian, you are Indian, I am Indian, then two Indians they meet and they feel so close to each other. Why? Because there is a sense of oneness. Same thing here, there are 1.4 billion people, Indian, okay. We take it for granted. But you see out there, because there is suddenly one connection. We connect at different levels for oneness. On language basis, some people connect. Oh, you are also, let us say from Sikkim, I am also from Sikkim and we speak same language, same culture. Then immediately one connects. Just now I was talking and there are so many associations here. There is a Bihar association, there is a Gujarati association, Tamil association. All the associations are there. Why the associations are there? Because on the basis of language they unite, they come together, they feel one. So what is that which makes us feel one is that which will arise, which will give rise to love. So dharma is that which brings oneness, dharma is that which brings love, and when you love somebody, then naturally you want to do something for them, you will do duties also. And when you love somebody, you will follow values also. Do I want to hurt somebody whom I love? Do I want to cheat somebody whom I love? Do I want to destroy somebody whom I love? I don't want. So these four aspects are very important of Dharma. Vision of oneness brings love, brings values in our life, makes us do our duties. And so the actionable points are these, that where we should ensure that our youngsters, our children, they get this vision of oneness, they are able to identify and see oneness, and which are the practices which are strengthening oneness in religion, those must be highlighted. In every religion there will be practices which will strengthen oneness, those we should highlight. And every religion, if there are certain practices which are divisive, those should be condemned. That don't focus on the divisiveness, focus on the oneness. That's the way forward. Even certain expressions, we should ensure that those expressions we stop using. To call somebody who is not following one's religion as a kafir or as a heathen or as a mlecha or as a pagan, those things we should remove now. We should make it uncool. We should make it something which is to be shunned. Because if those things we continue to treat people who are not following your religion as somebody who is condemnable, then how will we ever build a society which is full of oneness? That is not possible. So together one has to have this understanding that let us respect each other, let us ensure that we treat each other with love, with vision of oneness. Also try and, because of love, try and see the sensitivity that every creature feels. Today we are talking about climate issues, and climate change is not some theoretical concept. Today it is happening right now as we are living. And the UN research has shown very clearly that we have just 2-3 years in our hand. If the temperature rises even by 2 degrees more, it will be an irreversible change. And one of the biggest contributors to global warming and to climate change is the second largest contributor to the global warming and climate change is non-vegetarian industry. Think about that. From purely economic, from purely the environment standpoint also, if we think about it, to survive, minimum violence if we do is very, very important. Where choices are not available, it's a different matter, but where choices are available, we must make well-informed choices which will reduce the carbon footprint in this world. Spiritual knowledge becomes applicable that way. If I see that the whole world is my family, I will try to live with minimum violence. And lot of vegetarian choices that we can make are those which does not involve violence. You don't have to completely chop off a tree to use certain vegetable products. You can just pluck and use it. So the world is moving towards a lot of people in the world are moving towards vegan diet, vegetarian diet, not only from health perspective but also from the perspective of environment. So again, spirituality will come into application. Each individual of course has their choice to make, but this is how one can apply to live with that vision of oneness. So vision of oneness brings that vision of love that makes us do our duties. If each one can ask oneself, what is my duty towards my family? What is my duty towards my community? What is my duty towards my country? How am I doing things that will help my country today? How am I doing things which will unite people? Even simple things like WhatsApp, when we send forwards without verifying, we keep forwarding lots of things to people. And a lot of rumors get spread like that, and many violence cases also happen because of that. So every action of ours, if we take a responsibility, our culture, Vedic culture is based on the vision of duties. In the Gita, Bhagavan says, Niyatam Kuru Karmatvam. O Arjun, do your obligatory duties. Even though it may feel that this is difficult, challenging. Think about it, Arjun has to destroy people whom he loves, but because they are on the side of adharma. And there is no other choice. They tried their best to avoid the war, but now the war has become inevitable. In that situation, what is his duty, even if it is unpleasant, he has to do that. and he wants to escape, but Bhagavan tells him, no, even if it is unpleasant, oh Arjun, go ahead and do your duty, because escaping from duty is what will bring more agitations and more guilt and more sorrow. In the world today, there are people who fight for rights. So much fighting goes on for rights. No doubt it may be necessary in certain situations, but how much can we do our duties? Have I done my duty to the best of my ability? That's a simple question that I can ask. And have I done duties at all different levels? Elections will come here next year. State election as well as the central elections. How many young people will go and vote? Many people do not go and vote on the election day. Their national duty they will not do. And then they can complain about the government, they can complain about everyone. But that is not right, because they didn't do their duty, so they have lost the right to even complain. So even simple things like that, keeping my environment clean, ensuring that I do my duties, avoiding corruption, doing my national duties on the days when I am expected to. Many of these things, if we start doing, that is the application of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam at the duty level and at the values level. If I can follow minimum one value uncompromisingly, that I stand for this value and I will not compromise, that will bring a lot of integrity and strength in our minds. Otherwise, we fall for everything. There's a beautiful saying which says, if you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. What is it that I stand for? What are the principles which are dearest to me, which I will not compromise? If we have that in our mind, then that is spirituality. A life of no compromise is spirituality. A life of doing duties is spirituality. A life of living in oneness and love, that is spirituality. And a life of vision of oneness is spirituality. So in all these different ways, let us apply and let us make this world a more healthy, happy, inclusive, and a world based on oneness. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Swamiji. Your words have really inspired all of us, and in between you are saying, my family is my world, and let us think that whole world is my family. So moving on to next speaker, we have Brahma Kumari Raj Yogini Sonam Didi Jiu. She is the state in charge of Brahma Kumari's Sikkim branch with over 30 years of experiences of Raj Yoga meditation and its practical application in daily life. Her spiritual talk and profound insight towards a spiritual lifestyle has inspired many youths. Her leadership skill was seen in Walkthon Padayatra from Sikkim, Gangtok to Calcutta in the year 2006. In her speech, Sister Sonam tells about how to lead a spiritual life in a complex world through meditation and God's healing power of love. She has conducted various courses like stress management, mind management, time management, positive thinking, de-addiction, talks to all sphere of people like students, teachers, doctors, police, engineers, and many more. Documentary film Prabhu Parwane Part 3 is also made in her life history from film division of Brahma Kumaris, which is in Mount Abu, Rajasthan. Over to you, sister.
Om Shanti. Good morning. Dr. Maya Desalagi. Respected divine brothers and sisters, regards and respect, peaceful greetings from Brahma Kumaris. Before sharing my views on a given topic, I'd like to give the brief introduction of our institution. Prajapita Brahma Kumaris Ishwari Vishwavidyalaya is a unique value-based education institution, internationally famed with more than 8,500 centers in India and abroad in 147 countries. It is affiliated to the United Nations as a non-governmental organization, having a consultative status of UNESCO, UNICEF, Economic and Social Council. It is open for everyone, irrespective of caste, grade, sect, religion, etc. And the interested person can just spare 1 hour in our center. They will be given the 7 days Raj Yoga course. Raj Yoga means the king of all yogas, and Raj means the mystery, and Yoga means to reunion or to remember. During 1 week course, they will understand the spiritual identification about the self, about the Supreme Godfather, about the world drama wheel, and so on. So today we are here to understand about the Dharma, which is a very, very important topic. And Dharma means the discipline. Dharma means the discipline. Dharma means the duty. And Dharma means the dharana. So Dharma means imbibing divine qualities like spiritual powers, purity, etc. in our practical life. Dharma is the canopy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So Dharma and Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is a correlated, intra-related with each other. So here Dharma means, whenever we talk about Dharma, people think about the physical Dharma only. And because of the body consciousness stage, we always think my religious father, my religious guru is different, so we are different. But here it is said that our preachers, our Dharma guru, or scriptures has always teaches us about love, mercy, compassion, unity, purity, oneness, stability, respect, forgiveness, etc. So religious fathers and preachers are different, but teachings are same. So today we need to focus in the teachings of gurus. Dharma means to inculcate divine virtues from the Supreme in our practical life. And the outcome is divinity. And the divine intellect only can have the vision of oneness, brotherhood, and one world, one family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam means I and you is the same soul, originally pure and divine. So I'd like to ask everyone over here, as a family, as a sister, are we awake that vices is burning the world right now? Yes? Who is burning? Our vicious thought, isn't it? Lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, and then jealousy. There are many more. But today, these are the main enemy of our soul. And it is causing the negativities in our world, and the result is businesslessness, wars, suicide, broken families, disputes, depression, anxiety, and then addiction. So now who will change the world? Who will come in front to change the world? Angels from the heaven? Angels from the heaven? No. We have to become now angels. We have to become angels now. So, today at present, today people are so engrossed in their lifestyle that they are not able to take time for self-development. And because of that, we are seeing that people's mind has become so fragile. And it is affecting our mind, intellect and sanskaras, which results to negativity in our thoughts, words and action. Today, peace is the urging need of all the souls. Children, youths, elderly people from all over the region, all over the world is in need of peace. Now, where is that peace? Where is that peace? Where is that peace? Within. It is within. But are we experiencing it right now? Then where is it? It is a call of time to do the self-realization. Focus on the self. Who we are. Self-here means the spiritual energy in the light form. Spiritual energy in the light form. We all are just a point of light, an energy, immortal soul, which resides in the center of the forehead. That's why in Hinduism we put tika on here. Here in the picture also you can see inside the soul there are three faculty members that are mind, intellect, and then sanskars. Mind, who is the master of mind? Soul. Soul is the master of mind. And our soul is creating the thoughts through mind. And then what is the work of intellect? Most of the time we used to talk about intellect. We always say about we should be intelligent. And we talk about intellectual persons also. But what is intellect? Intellect? Yes. Thank you. And also the judgment power. So another, sanskar means the deep impression, or you can say habit. So today, we need to take care of our sanskars. Because soul is immortal, and soul will take sanskars with us. Only the sanskar can go with us in the next birth also. So what are my sanskars? I have to check that one. I have to do the self-realization. And here, when we realize ourselves, then only we can realize our dormant treasures, which is inside only. And that are the 7 qualities of the soul. Knowledge, purity, peace, love, happiness, bliss, and then powers. These are my own qualities. These are my true nature. But today, because of the body consciousness, we have forgotten all these things. Everything is there inside. And in many religious books also, they have mentioned it, but we are not focusing on that. So now, it is said that those who have a self-realizations remain constantly happy and have a right to all attainments. So we need to do self-realization for that. When the lamp of the soul is lighted in life, you can easily rise above the vices. This is the picture of Supreme Soul. We really need to understand who is Supreme, the Divine Power. He is also in the form of point of light, and in Sanskrit, his name is Shiv. Shiv means light. Shiv means seed of all souls. Shiv means he is the benefactor, eternal benefactor. He is the ocean of peace, ocean of love, ocean of knowledge, and he is the bestower of happiness. So today we need to understand him because he is our own Supreme Father, Father of all souls. And he is also in the form of light. That's why in most religions and faiths, consider God as a universal light. So through this, we can understand that we all are one family, children of one Supreme God. When we remember him, then only we can attain all the spiritual powers. And that powers are power to withdraw, power to tolerate, power to discern, power to judge, power to accommodate or adjust, power to face all kinds of situations, power to back up, and power to cooperate. Now, if we realize about the self, and if we do the God's realization, then only we can immerse this power in us. Then automatically we can become an angels and we can bring the change in the world. Godly versions are the embodiment of awareness is an embodiment of power. To imbibe all the power, we need to practice the silence meditation at least for 10 minutes in a day, preferably in the morning time, to awaken our dormant, imperishable treasures which are within us. So the practice of Raj Yoga meditation helps to develop the spiritual understanding with the hidden powers. So now, these are the spiritual virtues which is also inside us. Now when we come to know about it, it will be easy for us to inculcate it in our practical life. And these are purity. And purity is the mother of peace and prosperity. Purity of thoughts, purity of words, purity of action is very, very important. Patience, tolerance, sweetness, introvertness. Most of people used to think we should be extrovert, but here Supreme says we need to be introvert. It is said in Hindi, Antarmukhi sada sukhi, Baharmukhi sada dukhi. So when we sit in a silence and when we do the meditation, that time we need this power. This is introvertness. And when we follow the path of truth, then only comes the fearlessness. there will be no more fear, humility, and then cheerfulness. So these are such values which makes us valuable. So now these virtues are attained through meditation. It is these virtues that make a yogi different from an ordinary man, and it takes us near to God and to the world. And this is the two world, the picture of two worlds. One, which is earth, we all know about it. But in the above side you can see, this one is the Paramdham, the soul world, the silence world, the world of liberation. And here if you see, all are in light form. And all are sitting in a very silence mode. There is only one God and one world family. We belong to one, and we came from the one world. Here on this earth, we are playing our role. We are playing our unique role. Nobody can play your role better than you. So, we need to do the meditation, because meditation is an act of self-love, where I can understand my true nature of peace. Would you like to do meditation now? So let us do the meditation. Please kindly sit properly. Now focus in the center of the forehead. Soul resides in the center of the forehead. In front of the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. I am just a point of light, immortal soul. I am a peaceful soul. Give the affirmation to yourself and have the visualization. You will experience it. Peace is my religion. Peace is within. I myself, I am peaceful. I am a loveful soul. I love myself. I love my family. I love the whole world. We are one family. My body is perfect and healthy. I am a son of God. Kindly repeat once. I am a peaceful soul. Peace is my religion. Peace is within. I myself am peaceful. I am a loveful soul. I love myself. I love my family. I love the whole world. My body is perfect and healthy. I am a son of God. I must radiate that peace to the world. I am that angel to bring the change in the world. Relax Om Shanti. So, it is said that all skills can be learned later, but the course of self-realization is urgent. And time says now. Now or never. Because we don't know what will happen in a second. We don't know about it. So knowledge is light and might. Those who understand the true religion will always remain carefree, light and happy. There are many songs in as a brotherhood. So I'd like to sing a song, just a few lines of it. Hope you will mesmerize and you will also join with me. We are one family. We are too close not to let it be. We are sisters and brothers, among the many colors, you and me. We are one family. We are too close not to let it be. We are sisters and brothers, among the many colors, you and me. Would you like to join? We are one family. We are too close not to let it be. We are sisters and brothers, according to many colors, you and me. We are one family. We are too close not to let it be. We are sisters and brothers, according to many colors, you and me. We are sisters and brothers, according to many colors, you and me. Please always to remember this, that we are soul and we are brothers. Thank you so much to all the respected members of and thank you to the team that has the opportunity. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sonam Didiji. Her words would have inspired all of us, and being human, our nature is to be peaceful. As fire has a nature of giving heat, if fire doesn't have heat, it's valueless. And water, nature is to make something wet. If that nature is not there, that is also waste. So being human being in peace is very important. That is what message we got from Diriju. So moving on to the last speaker of this session, Dr. Shawang Gatso Bhutia Ji, an assistant professor and HOD in the Department of Bhutia, Sikkim Government College, Kamrang Namchi, South Sikkim, under Sikkim Central University. He has also served in different fields including Dean, Students Affairs, Sikkim Government College, Namchi, South Sikkim, Coordinator, Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Program Officer, National Service Scheme, that is NSS, Nodal Officer, Red Ribbon Club, RRC, Member College Management Committee, Member Project Monitoring Unit, Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, currently serving as a Member Board of Studies, Sikkim Central University, and Member Board of Management, Karmapa International Buddhist Society, New Delhi. Member Indian Himalayan Council of Nalanda Buddhist Traditional, New Delhi, and he has also attended and presented papers in different national seminars and workshops. So I would like to welcome Dr. Shalom Rasubhutya for his speech. Over to you.
Nam Doshi, Yonden Kunji, Papo, Sinjeng Kunji, Nichiku, Amjekana, Chatsal. Savi Doshon se Rai, Savi Gurun se Alankrit, Raniyo ke Matra Bantutua, Ustataga ko Meshacha, Naman Karta. A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are here basically for two main issues. And with due permission of the chair, and of course, I am privileged to be amidst of eminent speakers here, although I'm not an eminent speaker, of course. And what I feel myself is that I'm still a learner, same like you. And I just wanted to be more inquisitive and to explore my own knowledge regarding whatever we will be deliberating this whole day. So, first of all, I'm extremely delighted to be the part of this C20 National Conference on Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. I think when we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we really need to take care and take note of two different issues. Everybody knows that there are two different issues, that is mind and matter, right? And today we will be discussing only about mind, only about Adhyatma, only about spirituality. We are not even going to discuss about science. We are not going to discuss about scientific discovery at all. So when we say spirituality or Adhyatma, it's all about our spirit. It's all about our mind, right? So in fact, I firmly believe that the vision behind this national conference has both larger and broader perspective to make one world, one family, and one future. The scriptures, the holy texts, and when we go through the holy texts, we always refer India or Bharatvarsh as a Arya Desh Bharat Bhumi, meaning the land of enlightened minds, the land of sages, the land of great Gandhis, and so many enlightened minds there. And then of course, India is also a repository of ancient wisdom. We just discussed about ancient wisdom, we just discussed about ancient knowledge, because that ancient knowledge, that ancient wisdom that has benefited the humanity over the years, over the centuries. So of course we are proud of that country where we belong to. And then, of course, I will also always discuss about the Nalanda tradition. Why Nalanda was so popular in the world today? Why? The only reason was Nalanda had the glorious history. Because of historical significance, Nalanda was so popular in the world. And number two, the academic excellence. Today, wherever we go, we always aspire to be the best college. We always aspire to be the best institutions. We always aspire to be the best functioning schools, because our only aspiration is that we wanted to be the best in terms of our academics, in terms of our faculties, in terms of our library, in terms of our etc. So that's why Nalanda was so popular, because of its academic excellence. And then of course, there are different religious traditions in the world, and each of them has its own significance in terms of history, in terms of philosophy, in terms of thoughts, etc. And every religion today has its own way of presenting their philosophy, presenting their practice, right? And we are from different cultural and historical background. But basically, there is no fundamental differences between you and me. We are all human beings in terms of our existence. Because just imagine, when I say human being or humanity, we are discussing about humanity. And we need to work in the interest of humanity, the larger interest of humanity. And we know that when I say human being, there are 4 different phenomena. And these are the realities also. And the number 1, death is the end of our birth, right? Death is the end of our birth. And separation is the end of our meeting. But the problem is, the moment I get separated from my near and dear one, I will always suffer. This is the reality of life. And then, exhaustion is the end of accumulation. We have seen in the world, we have seen within Sikkim also, exhaustion is the end of the material prosperities. Exhaustion is the end of your accumulation, whatever you do. And then finally, downfall is the end of elevation. We have seen in the history also the downfall of great kings. Okay? And then of course, we discuss about West and East. We discuss about their culture, their religion. We discuss about my culture, my religion, my language, this and that. They are all superficial. It was man-made, it was superficial, and it was superimposed in many ways. Now when I say Buddha Dharma, right? Buddha Dharma simply is a Buddha Shasan, the discipline of Buddha. And the discipline of Buddha is very simple, that we always need to discipline our action, we need to discipline our words, we need to discipline our mind. This is called Buddha Shasan. This is called Buddha Dharma. And even if you go through the philosophies of Buddhism, then everything, whatever philosophy you will go through it will discuss about how to discipline your mind, how to be a good human being, how can you generate warm-heartedness towards others, how can I be a motivating factor for my fellow beings. This is all about Buddha Dharma. This is all about discipline. But disciplining your mind, disciplining your speech, and disciplining your action is not as easy as we deliberate here today. Of course. That's why our great masters, whether it's yogis, whether it's lamas or rinpoches or tsampos, whosoever, they always prefer to be in isolated meditation. And the only reason is they try to discipline their mind. Because mind is the basis of all we know it. Mind is the basis of your happiness. Mind is the basis of your suffering. Okay? And then Buddha himself said that his doctrine should be adopted not merely on the basis of faith, not at all. Rather, it should be reasonable and it should be investigative. That's why we talk about investigative mind. We talk about mindfulness. We talk about meditation. And then of course, when I say Buddha Dharma, in a way it's called Buddha Shasan. And the practice of discipline is advocated by all sects of Tibetan Buddhism and all religious traditions today. Okay? And the discipline, the practice of discipline itself is that the higher training in self-discipline, because even today, when you go through the YouTube teachings and etc., you will always find that our mind is a monkey mind. Our mind is a fickle mind. Our mind is a filthy mind. Our mind is a polluted mind. Why? Because mind is the basis of all. Therefore, but our mind is also a transformative. We can transform my mind. I can transform my mind. I can be a transformed individual. But I need to do it properly. I need to study it. I need to reflect on it. I need to do meditation or whatever. Because when I say meditation, meditation simply means in Buddhism to stabilize your mind. Because our mind is monkey mind, of course. It's polluted and overpowered by negativities. Okay? The anger, the attachment, the lust, contentment, etc., etc. So therefore, we need to stabilize our mind. We need to make our mind stable. and then on the basis of stability, then I can generate the good and warm heartedness towards others. Then only I can think for others. Then only I can work for the interest of human beings. So that's why the Buddha himself said that, very important, just as the earth is the basis of life and gives birth to all that grows, likewise discipline is the basis of those making spiritual endeavor, and it gives birth to every virtue. So see how important to be disciplined. Okay? At the same time, Acharya Shantideva said that no other ascetic practice is needed than the practice of disciplining mind. Altogether we talk about disciplining the mind. Altogether we talk about disciplining your speech, your action, your thought, and whatever you are doing. Because the moment you are indisciplined, you are accumulating unwholesome deeds, unwholesome. We call it kushal and akushal karma. Very simple. And then we need to recognize, because we are suffering today. Our existence itself is a suffering. And we have not been able to conceptualize, and we have not been able to make one earth, one family, one nation. Why? Because of the entities called I, me, and mine. Okay? So therefore, we need to recognize all about mind and try to cultivate positive mind. The mind that is helpful, the mind that is altruistic, the mind that is always ready to help others. Okay? And then, of course, that positive, that wholesome, that creative mind leading to the increase of your happiness, others' happiness, and obviously decrease of suffering for both oneself and others. The another incomparable, the Kadipa great master said that if one possesses self-discipline, one lays the foundation of every goodness and joy. It is like a fertile earth. And by relying upon it, the harvest of every perfection is increased. So see how important disciplining your mind is there, disciplining your action, disciplining of your speech. For example, right from the very early morning, we always do the prayer. We always aspire all human beings to be happy. We always aspire all human beings to be free from suffering and cause of suffering. This is a very normal routine prayer, day-to-day prayer. I'll just go through it, okay? May I attain Buddhahood for the sake of sentient beings. Every Buddhist, they know about this, the prayer, we do it. May all beings have happiness and cause of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and cause of suffering. And may they never be detached from the supreme happiness, free from suffering. And may they remain in boundless equanimity and both attachment to kin. The problem is this: we are always attached to our near and dear ones, our kin, and hatred to our enemy. But remember, we have been doing this prayer for how many years? Right from our birth, I guess. We have been chanting the mantras for many years, for many decades, of course. But we have not been able to transform myself. I have not been able to transform myself. I have not been able to do the wholesome act. I have not been able to generate altruistic mind for others. That is a problem there. Of course, aspirational prayers are always there. We always need to have an aspiration prayer because we need to aspire it right from myself. But then, we always need to make it practicable. That's the problem today. Okay? We have a philosophy, of course. We have a concept, very clear concept, and very broader also. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Is it possible? Just imagine to make world one family, to make world one future. Because, as I said, that there is no fundamental differences between you and I, between West and North. But then we need to make it practicable. Whatever religion you belong to, no matter, no issue, it's okay. You belong to different faith, you belong to different philosophy, you have advocated different ideas, ideology, it's okay, no matter. But is it really justifiable? When we talk about mankind, is it really justifiable? When you claim that yes, I belong to this particular religion? No, that's the problem today. And then, the greatest emphasis of Buddhism today is the transformation of our mind. We have seen material development. Yes, we need material development. Of course, we need material development because that serves us. Okay, but at the same time, we need to know that material external development cannot guarantee your inner peace, your mental peace. Had it been like that, things would have been changed today. There will be no controversies, there will be no conflicts, there will be no differences. In the name of race, in the name of region, in the name of color, in the name of culture. No. So that was the reason that material development, but at the same time, we also need to focus about our inner development, the mental development, the mental peace. Because we know that when I say attachment, just remember, especially my student, I say attachment. Attachment, it has been nicely described that our attachment towards my dear one, my near one, my parents, my relatives, is strongly flows like water towards my near and dear ones. And remember that in the ocean of attachment, in the ocean of love, in the ocean of lust, there are always multiple waves of suffering. Remember this. Okay? And then when it comes to hatred, the aggression, the anger, of course it always burns us. And it has been nicely said that the fire of anger can burn down the forest of love. Okay? And then out of our ignorance, we are totally ignorant. We don't know what to do and what not to do. We don't know what to eat and what not to eat. We don't know what to be adopted and what not to be adopted. But because of this ignorance, we are now suffering. Because of this ignorance, we are now involving in all akushal karma, all unwholesome acts. And that finally take me to the suffering. That finally suffer me like anything else. So therefore, the happiness there in this world, and the Acharya Shantideva, the great Bodhisattva of Nalanda tradition, Nalanda University, once said that we always need to aspire for others, for humanities, that all the suffering there is in this world arises from wishing ourselves to be happy, the suffering. And our happiness in this world arises wishing others to be happy. So see, this is the ancient wisdom. This is the ancient knowledge about India. This is the ancient knowledge about Nalanda tradition. We have this knowledge deeply rooted in our culture, deeply rooted in our system. And then we will talk about the principles of tolerance, talk about the loving kindness, talking about the compassion, talking about the altruistic mind, the noble mind, and the warm heart. And this, of course, it is there in the philosophy. It is always reflected there. So, for example, today, we always need to believe in the law of causality. Karan Khan, right? So, what is law of causality now? For example, in order to organize this day-long National Salmon Conference today, okay, the Chinmay Mission Chennai has been working day in and out to make this happen, to bring people together from different faiths, right? And I'm sure that if you really take it seriously, there are causes and conditions behind it. Because we cannot grow or we cannot prosper in isolation at all. Whatever you do, whether it is your better education, whether it is your material prosperity, whether it is your good health, you will always have a favorable causes and conditions behind it. But the problem is we always ignore it. So nothing will grow, nothing will prosper in isolation. So as a result of causes and conditions, that are also favorable. Today we are all here to imagine, to conceptualize one earth, one family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Okay? And on the basis of this, because for Buddhist practitioner, we always believe that we, the all living creature, we need to be mindful towards them. We always need to consider that they are all my parents. The creature that are there in this universe as equal as the space. We always need to have a mindfulness towards them. We always need to feel that they are very kind towards me. So when I have this kind of feeling, when I have this kind of notion in my mind, I will definitely refrain from harming them. I will definitely refrain from killing them or using abusive language for them, because I have that feeling in my mind because they are my own parents. Okay, they are as equal as my own mother, as equal as my own father. So why should I harm them then? Okay, and then in this way we can generate unconditional love for them, unconditional care for them. And then on the basis of that, we need to understand that everything happens due to causes and conditions. And due to the right cause and condition, you will get right result, of course. And due to your bad conditions and causes, you will always suffer. And then, today the problem is that there are politicians, of course. There are social activists. And there are people who have always been misusing our religion, misusing our faith, misusing our philosophy. And then, as a result of it, we are all going through the controversies. We are all going through the unrest in our society, conflicts in our society. So therefore, the most important thing today is that we always need to inculcate that value in our mind, inculcate that principles in our mind, and especially our students from colleges and schools around Gantok, because you are our potential, you are our human resources. And for example, myself being a professional teacher, we teachers, what we need to do is that we are always trying to mold you in such a way so that you can become a productive member of the society, so that you can become a good human resource for our nation tomorrow. This is the only attempt of us being a teacher. Okay? And then, when I say loving kindness or warm-heartedness or compassion, of course, we have a living embodiment of Avalokiteshvara, the love of kindness and compassion, that His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. Whenever he was asked, what is your religion, your holiness? What is your faith, your holiness? He always says that, I have no religion at all. My simple and only religion is kindness. And kindness is a religion for mankind. So you see. And even Gandhiji, you know, Bahujan Hitaya, Bahujan Sukhaya. This is all about humanity. It doesn't talk about Sanatan Dharma, it doesn't talk about Buddhism, it doesn't talk about any other faith or religion, but Bahujan Hi, Bahujan Sukh. See, this is the philosophy of humanity. And then, His Holiness has always been encouraging people across the world to encourage loving kindness, to encourage compassion, and to encourage ethics. But the ethics should be beyond our religion. Today we are all under the religious dogma. And that religious dogma has always created problem either this way or the other way around. Therefore, His Holiness said that we need to have ethics. We need to have a moral education. But that should be beyond our religion. That should be beyond our concept of philosophy. A very common, because we know that in terms of humanity, in terms of human being, you and me, we all are same. We have the same characteristic. We have the same feature. Because each and every one of us, we want happiness. We are all wanting happiness. We aspire to be happy. And we don't want suffering at all, whether it is physical or mental, whatever. But then, out of ignorance, we are suffering. Because of untrained mind, I'm suffering. So therefore, I need to transform myself. The moment you transform yourself, you will naturally transform the people around you through your action, through your speech, and through your mind. Okay? And then, because in this regard, Shakyamuni Buddha very clearly said that you are your own savior and you are your own enemy. See how important this is. You are your own savior and you are your own destroyer. The moment you generate good heart, the moment you generate altruistic mind for others, the moment you work for the humanity, you become your own savior. But in other words, if you hurt others, if you make others offended because of your speech, because of your action, because of your thought, you are your own destroyer. Your parents cannot destroy you, your teachers cannot destroy you, or your even Guruji or masters cannot destroy you, but you are your own destroyer. And then, right from our family, because we know that when we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the line goes that I am Nija Paroveti Granana Lagu Chetasam. It has already been highlighted in our inaugural session also. With these small-minded people, okay, very limited-minded. Then I say it's mine, my village is good, his village is bad, my community is stronger, better, his village is weaker. Okay, my religion is good, his religion is bad. So because of all this, because of narrow-minded, because of limited-minded, we are suffering. So now what we need to do today is that we need to convey the message that yes, we can become a kutumba. We can become one family. In our speech, in our mind, in our words, and in our thoughts. This is possible, of course. And then, when I say that teaching of Buddhism is basically about two things. The one is the philosophy and another is the conduct. The philosophy is that my happiness, my material prosperity, my better education, everything, my good health, it is all because of the certain favorable causes and conditions that I already accumulated. Maybe it could be because of my parents. Maybe it could be because of my teachers. Okay? And then, that is the philosophy. Everything is interdependent. Everything is interconnected. I said that we cannot grow in isolation at all. Yesterday I was going through the class 12 result, and some students, especially from Yangon, South Sikkim, they did so well. Being from the rural areas, the schools are located in the rural areas, yet they did very well. And that was for sure that their teachers, they worked day and night for them. And they, of course, there were certain causes and conditions that were brought together, and as a result, our students, they did very well in their class 12 results. Okay? And then, of course, today we are in the restless world, and our safety and our security are the main concerns, and our discontentment and endless desires that have given birth to various social and national conflicts. People are passing days in suspicion, of course, and in fear that leads us to the state of instability. Therefore, there is a great need of loving kindness. There is a great need of tolerance, compassion, and universal brotherhood and communal harmony, so that people coexistence among the people can be imagined. So in addition, I take this opportunity to inform the House that it is relevant to refer the formation of World Buddhist Fellowship in 1950. In the preamble, the aim is very clearly defined, wherein the greatest stress was laid to ensure peace and humanity in the world. Similarly, the preamble of the UNESCO also underlined that, remember, since wars begins in the minds of men, it is in the minds of man that defenses of peace must be constructed. This is the preamble of the UNESCO still today. So what resulted from endless desire? What resulted from our hatred? What resulted from delusion? And Buddhism endeavors to eradicate this evil thought, enlightened mind. Through enlightened mind, I therefore want to draw your kind attention, most respected sirs, eminent speakers, and my dear distinguished participants from different faiths gathered here too, for this very important discussion. What we need to do is that we really need to create a favorable condition for us, for the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And then, of course, at the very end, I sincerely feel that we all are peace-loving people, okay? And we just need to cooperate each other wholeheartedly. And we need to come together for this issue, the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And I believe that this day-long conference today will be the milestone in the process of making Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam truly a reality. And remember that, I said that we are under very dynamic leadership today, okay? And it has been correctly said that a smart move can win the battle. Remember, a smart move can win the battle. And an inspiration can save crores of business of the company. So we have smartness in our system today. We have smartness in our governance today. And we have smartness in our leadership today, Delhi. So therefore, let us imagine together. Let us join together. Let us come together to make this world's Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one family, one future, one earth. And of course, at the very end, the saying goes that coming together is a beginning. Coming together is a beginning. And keeping together is a progress. And working together is a success. So with this, I thank you for my delegation. And I'm extremely sorry if I stand biased in the process of my presentation and deliberation. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Your flow of thoughts were continuously inspiring, but the shortage of time, we are supposed to stop you in the middle. So we have come to the end of this first session, which is on spirituality. So I would like to request our chairperson, K.N. Sarmaju, to facilitate all three speakers respectively. So I'll call the names, and I would like to request volunteers to get the mementos and yeah. Swami Swapnananji, Acharya Chinmay Mission, Mumbai. dear team, Sonam Diji, and really inspiring speech by Dr. Sir. So on behalf of the organization, I would like to request all our students and faculty from the school and colleges to stay back till 3:45. We are running shortage of time, but we will be finishing the session on time, which is given on the Saturday. So I will take the lead, myself Sumit Sharma, and I will hand over the next session to my beloved brother Tanam Supa. Over to you, Tanam Supa. Bye.
Give up.